Good Saturday morning, and welcome to another exciting edition of Outdoors with Larry Ray on 790 The Bet. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, B&M Poles, and Ducks Unlimited. Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome to Outdoors with Larry Ray. And that is Larry Ray. It may not be Larry Ray's voice. Well, it is Larry Ray's voice. It is the voice that he has, and it's good to be back in studio on this special weekend that we're all going to be in Springfield, Missouri. Later today, a lot of us will be there for the Legends of the Outdoors 23rd induction ceremonies in Springfield, Missouri, and can't wait. In fact, my can't wait buddy is on the line with me right now. He was there with me, and was it 22? I'm all out of whack, Bill Cooksey. Yeah,
I think that's right.
I think when me and Mr. Cooksey went in 1922, not 1922.
Don't age me now.
No. 2022, we were fortunate to go in, and me got to go in with Bill Cooksey, and you know, Bill, it's we got 9 more coming in today, including the very first one today will be Ron Wong. And that's my job today up at Springfield as we're going to introduce Mr. Wong. You know, he passed away in March, and but he knew what was coming up.
That was the special part. And you know, as you know, Legends of the Outdoors doesn't induct people posthumously. So, you know, I always thought it'd be cool to induct Nash Buckingham or whoever.
Yes,
but
yes.
That's not the way it works.
No.
And fortunately, they had told, Gary had told Ron he was being inducted prior to.
Yeah, I was there.
His death, and so he's getting in.
He is getting in, and.
And I know he was excited about it.
Oh yeah, and he was humbled by it. It's all of us are when it happens, and and so I'm glad that Bill Cooksey will be there. But we're going to kind of preview the event, and we'll have some kind of wrap up on next week's show. As Shelby McCall takes care of us, and I have not been in the studio, Shelby. Well, we did the show live from the Ducks Unlimited Expo at the Renaissance Convention Center in the first Saturday in August. I guess it went well. Shelby said it went well. We had no trouble or anything like that. Of course, Bill could not be there for that time, but he had other things going on. But he did get to experience the expo. So
sure.
What do you think, Bill? You were there. I missed seeing you.
But... you know, I saw the videos of Saturday, and I thought, oh, my gosh, because I was going Sunday. But, you know, all the people went Saturday. There were plenty of folks there Sunday, but it wasn't crazy. So to anybody listening that thought, man, I can't even walk through this place that went on Saturday, next year you might try Sunday.
Yeah.
Friday, of course, I couldn't go because we had our West Tennessee Private Lands Summit, and, man, that was awesome.
Okay.
It was at the Agri Center.
Oh, yes. The Tennessee Wildlife Federation. Okay.
Yeah, and
but you had a chance to go. Yeah,
and had a bunch of speakers come in. You know, like Dr. Cohen and Matt Dunphy, and a bunch of different specialists in different issues. For all these landowners. So we'll be doing that again next year. Hopefully, you can attend.
And then, of course, they had over 400 DU volunteers for their leadership group at the Renaissance Center. And who gave that welcome speech to him? Toxie Hayes. Yes.
Okay.
And that's not Toxie's ballywick, so to speak, you know.
Toxie's gotten pretty good at speaking.
Yeah, well, he's not. I know that we had Daniel, his son Daniel, on the radio from down there, and he was so proud of his dad to speak before those volunteers who came from all over the United States.
Oh, yeah.
And he spoke from his heart about family and about volunteers and what they mean to our business. And I know you know that as well as I do. And so
volunteers are what I have to deal with at TWF.
Yes.
And when I say have to deal with, that's just that's what I do, is work with volunteers.
Well, I think we proved that at the expo, and then the next weekend at the FedEx St. Jude Golf Championship, they proved it again with volunteers. So
that's another place they miss Ron.
Yes, Ron would have been there cooking them sliders, because that's what he does, and he was a volunteer. But we're going to celebrate the Legend of the Outdoors today on Outdoors with Larry Ray. We're going to talk to George Lynch. George.
Absolutely. I've known George for 25 years, and
you've been in the blind with him, right?
Together, and
yes, yeah. He knows a little bit about goose hunting.
A little bit.
Yes.
He might even know how to kill a duck.
I think he does. But anyway, so George is going in, and then we're going to talk to Chuck Jones, and Chuck is going in, and we're just all excited about Chuck because he's going to be one of the people going in, born out of Louisiana, and made a name for himself in the waterfowl industry and up and down the Big Muddy and the Mississippi River. So we're going to talk to Chuck. And then
I always think of turkeys when I think of Chuck.
Yes, we're going to talk to him a little bit about that. And then we're going to talk to Kent Driscoll, our good friend Kent Driscoll. He still has the 901 area code, even though he lives in Nashville and works out of Nashville. But he is the pro staff director for our good friends at B&M. And Kent's going to follow in there and talk about, he's on the board of directors for the Legends of the Outdoors. We're going to talk to him, and then we're going to kind of wrap it up. David Beal will join us with David Best, get back to a little bit of regular here on Outdoors with Larry Ray with their D&D segment, David and David talking local fishing. And I'm sure that Bill will enjoy listening to that. And then we're going to close out the show with a man who's in a few Hall of Fames. I know he's in the Arkansas Outdoor Hall of Fame, and of course
Arkansas Duck Hunting Hall of Fame.
Yes, and then he's
Legends
also
Hall of Fame, World Champion Duck Caller.
Yes. And who are we talking about, Bill?
Jim Ronquest.
Yes, we are. Jim Ronquest, and I've still got to. It's still kind of hard to get used to who he works for now. Okay, I've messed it.
You think it's hard for you?
Well, I can imagine what it is for you and all the folks that hunt with him and have known that and been on the stage at Stuttgart and were there when he went in the Legend of the Outdoor Hall of Fame. But anyway, we're going to talk to Jim in our final segment on today's show. Get a little waterfowl in there just for Bill and Jim and everybody. It won't be long. We'll have the dove season. They're showing up in my bird feeder right now. They're looking at me right now in my bird feeder at my house.
Yep.
I don't think they'll be there on September the 1st, but we'll see. But anyway, so we're going to have a wonderful show to talk about the Legends of the Outdoors, talk about local fishing, and then talk about a little duck hunting with somebody that knows what it's all about. I think he would, right, Bill?
I believe so.
I think it would be too. And but the Legends of the Outdoor going on today. It starts this morning at about 10 in Springfield at the Jenny and Johnny Morris Convention Center, right there at the B Bass Pro Shops. It's right there at the big store. We stayed last night over there at the Angler's Inn, and then we're probably going.
I didn't reserve early enough to get the good hotel.
Well, that's okay. We were going to stay 2 nights, but folks, I don't know if I haven't even mentioned it on Facebook. I didn't want any sympathy, but I did have surgery last Monday, a week ago Monday, at the Euro Center. That's what it's called. I felt like I was transported to the Euro. I thought I had going to have to pay in euros. But I did have a stone removed, but not the kind of stone you think of, not a kidney stone. I had a bladder stone removed, and believe me, they removed it. and it was a lot more than I expected. But Dr. Melvin McGowan, my urologist, did a wonderful job. The nurses were great, but it has taken me a while. I am still low on energy, and that's why I needed Bill, and that's why I needed David Beal to come on in toward the 10 o'clock segment of today's show. He's going to come in and help with the fishing part. But it's going to take me a while. But my niece, Renee Cooney, drove us to Springfield, just like she did in 22, when you and I both went in.
I remember it well.
And I had no hair, and it was in cancer treatment. So I don't know about this thing. Cancer treatment in 22, and now in 25, getting some part of my body expelled. And I don't know. I got to get back to just regular, have fun up there, because that's what it is. It's fun, patriotic, and all the good stuff. So,
well, the people you meet, I've been around a lot of the people that you see in the hunting and fishing industry, and I've been fortunate in that regard. But to see them in that setting where everyone's relaxed and you can actually talk, and everyone's just talking, and it's general people who just bought a ticket, to the latest inductees, to people like Ron and Tess Jolly and others that you've been watching on television.
Tess Jolly's going in, today. It's just an amazing event, and of course I was stunned. You were stunned, and it's, you don't know what He cuts you back to only a certain amount of words, and he told me, you got to be brief. Oh, I've not been brief very long. That's for sure about me. I've never been accused of being brief, particularly when I was a writer. I was never very brief. But anyway, let's take our first break of the morning. We're going to go straight to George Lynch. He'll help me on this.
All right.
Oh, you know George better than I do. We're going on to the Legends of the Outdoor Hall of Fame on Outdoors with Larry Ray. So let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, B&M Poles, and Ducks Unlimited.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. As we get closer and closer to our 25th anniversary show on the last Saturday of this month. How about that, Cooksey?
It's getting on us fast.
25 years on the air. They didn't expect we'd make 25 minutes. I wasn't sure either, but, it is what it is. It just proves how old you are.
Squirrel season.
Yes. The opening day of squirrel season.
That's right.
Well, thank you, Bill, for reminding me of that. But as we mentioned earlier, Bill Cooksey is my co-host, and we're devoting the bulk of today's show to the 23rd Legends of the Outdoors Hall of Fame today in Springfield, Missouri, at the Johnny and Jenny Morris Convention Center. Always one of our favorite events. Me and Bill were honored to go in at the same time in 2022. And so we're going to roll out a guest on today's show who needs no introduction. In fact, I'm going to let Bill Cooksey introduce this next guest because he's one of 9 going in today. Bill, how about introducing this guy?
Man, I don't even know where to start with this guy. We met many years ago, back in the Avery days when we were starting the decoy line and blinds and that sort of thing. And at the time, George Lynch was starting Lynch Mob Calls.
Yes, Lynch Mob Calls. Yes,
it was a natural fit. So we got to know each other and have hunted together several times, judged a lot of contests together, and He was a big help back in those days at Avery, dealing with outdoor riders and video crews and that sort of thing. So, we have George Lynch on the show. Thanks for being on today, George.
No problem. It's my honor. But I'm going to tell you what, Larry, he's being humble. The reason I had those hunts with outdoor riders and had the interview with outdoors riders was because of Bill Cooksey introducing me to him.
He did.
He's just being humble.
Well, he's about as humble as he can be on this show today. Okay, we're not going to have anybody but humble people on today. And
there you go.
And anybody who named their company Lynch Mob Calls is about as humble as I can think of. But
Buddy, that was a nickname that started years ago. Used to be a rock and roll guy. Played with Ted Nugent, the Dawkins band. He was George Lynch and the Lynch Mob. And I guided years ago. It started in Michigan when Tim Grounds, Jeff Boyles, Fred Zink. And I was the only guy from Michigan that guided out of Knutson's there. And man, did we kill the geese! But old Fred Zink, the first time he met me, he's the one that gave me that nickname. Hey, Lynch Mob.
Lynch Mob, yes.
Lynch Mob, and so when we started making calls,
I love hearing
what?
I love hearing Grounds say it.
Yes. What is he? How does he say it? Yeah. How does he say it? Well, maybe
that rough voice.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, he's
I love.
Yeah. George has already made my day because he brought in the name of who? Who did you mention in that quick introduction that is up from the Michigan area? And I actually interviewed him in Memphis, and I have a picture of me interviewing the Who. Who do you think you just mentioned, George?
Well, I mentioned Zink. Zink's from Ohio.
No, from Michigan.
From Michigan.
The Wild Man.
Brad Allback?
No. Cooksey, you got any idea? Huh?
No, I missed it.
No, the Wild Man with the guitar. Come on now.
Oh, Ted Nugent.
Ted Nugent. All right.
Hey,
people.
Dude, all you had to do, Larry, say Wango Tango, dude, and I've been all over that.
Well,
the Motor City Madman.
One of my best pictures is me interviewing Ted Nugent. We're the two most unlikely people to be interviewing each other, But anyway, thank you, George. That made my day to bring that in because people don't believe it, but I did doing that.
Well,
talk about this honor, George. What does it mean to you?
It means everything. I mean, it reminds me, and it's what's humbling and almost it's not sad. It's just a tear to your eye that I always pushed myself when I was younger, whether it was in sports or no matter what, but raising my kids, I was always trying to be the best you can as a parent and as a hunter and everything you did. I started that. And back in the day, when Cooksey and I were back there, he'll tell you there was no social media and learning to make a call and learning to tune a call. You had to, we had to make the road work.
Yes.
We had to lay the road work down to get there so we could travel on. And, I believe that this road work from guys like and peers that I have, the Zinks and the Kelly Powers and people like that, we laid the road work for these kids today.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the kids today appreciate it. For me, what this is, when I look in this room, I see people who traveled that same road that I traveled.
Yeah.
And it means a lot to me. And it's, I see innovators. I see people that, we first got into hunting for a passion.
Yes.
I never, ever in the day that I got into hunting, did I ever think this was all about getting rich. I picked the wrong industry to do that.
That's for sure.
I was going to say, have you figured that one out?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was, I always said if I could make a living and support a family and do everything in something I love to do, that's a success no matter any way you look at it. But to be able to do something that you love to do, and then at the near, your gas tank's getting 3/4 of the way empty.
Yeah.
And you look back and these people who recognize you, and that's what's most important is your peers who look at you and say, hey, we respect what you did because we know the road that you walked down to get here.
Yes.
That I'm telling you, that means something to me. And it's very humbling. And then you look around and see the Harold Knight and you see Johnny Houston and you see Roger Ragland. And I see Bill Cooksey. And, it's just what a humbling to be part of that crew, that all-star team, I guess you would call it. And it's one of those days you look at. And I told my wife, I said, I just want to take every moment in of this right here because to me this is a once-in-a-lifetime deal. It's that 200-inch deer that you were trying to always get. You always want to savor that moment.
That's right.
And she even made a comment. Says, "You want to go after the come back home after, or do you want to stay?" I said, "No, I want to stay with my friends and hang out and pick guitars and savor this moment with my friends because, to get together for this moment, this is a once-in-a-lifetime deal.
And I know that your wife shares in this, right, George? I mean, in this honor.
My wife is, she's my right hand. We had some stuff that health scares and some health issues with her. And everything that we've done, Lynch Mob, we had other people. We had people who could do many different hats, with many different jobs. And
right.
Today, it's my wife and I wearing those hats. And God bless her. But you know what? I've seen her from up in Saskatchewan in the middle of the night, at 4 a.m, setting decoys with us, shooting birds, not complaining one bit. And when I do these shows, I know my speech. She even knows my speech, and she could probably sell. But I'm reaching out there, and we make a sell or whatever we need to do. We're just like a perfect wheel. And when those folks aren't there, I'm just out of time.
Oh,
talking to people.
Yeah,
I had to do dive bombs.
She was doing a great job at DU, George.
God bless her.
Yeah, well, we need to mention Diane. Okay, can I say her name? Is that okay? I mean,
you sure can. Yeah,
I know that because I'm the same way with mine, and I just hope that no one mentions how much better my wife was a fisherman than I am at the Legends. I got ridiculed on the stage and I don't mind it because we couldn't do what we've done without my Miriam and you with your Diane, but the time up there is only 5 minutes, and that's an eternity, George, for what you've done. And when I think about it, if I'm not mistaken, I think you killed your first deer with a bow at the age of 13. Come on, I mean, and then it wasn't until the 20s that you got this idea going, and you really turned it on, and now going to the Legend of the Outdoor Hall of Fame. And congratulations, buddy. I know you've kept your faith important to y'all, and that's what it is with me. And to know that's an important part of your life also, but just to be recognized with a lot of people. You've already mentioned more names than we've had anybody mention in the show in 25 years, I think.
Yeah, well, I'm like Bill. Bill, I got a long line of friends and people that we can call on, people we've hunted with, and I can't even remember most of the people that you hunt with. But I will say this one thing about this journey. That is one of the great things that I can do it with my wife, and I have done it with my wife. But from starting from Lynch Mom to this day in my life, the friends and the relationships that I have made across this country and in other countries because of sharing the same passion of what we love to do is what the memories that I can, that I think of and remember the most. And I'm very grateful for all the friends that I've made along this road.
Well, I know that we had Sean Stahl on my radio show at the DU Expo. And when I heard the Goose Guru, I said, "Oh man, somebody gets called a guru." I said, "I don't think I'll be."
It's fair for Stahl.
Yeah, well, I think it's pretty fair for George Lynch too.
It is, no doubt.
And to be there, George, congratulations again. Thank you for taking time on this Saturday morning to be with us on Outdoors with Larry Ray. And I know I came along too late. I have to follow Henry Reynolds at the Commercial Appeal in Memphis, and I never thought he'd ever retire. And time he retired, everybody else was gone, But I've heard your name. I look forward to meeting you in Springfield, buddy, and sharing one another. I mean, I'm middle-aged for a 164-year-old man, and I've still got friends I want to make. Okay?
George,
and your brother's Moses.
That's right, yes.
George, I'll give you some context about Henry Reynolds. He was a writer that Larry followed, but it was akin to back in his heyday if you had to follow grounds on stage.
Yeah. Well, that was
I'm unbelievable. I would like to check that out. I sure would. And meeting these people today, it's just going to be a great day. And like I said, it's going to be one of the great days besides my children and marrying my wife. One of the best days of my life.
All right, George. We appreciate you, buddy. We'll see you in Springfield. Okay, man?
All right, brother. God bless you guys.
Yeah, have a great day. All right, let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray, and we're going on to Kent Driscoll's coming up next. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, B&M Poles, and Ducks Unlimited.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. And yes, this is Larry Ray. My voice doesn't sound like it, but I'm doing my best. And now I have help in studio. I already got it on the phone. Bill Cooksey, how you doing, buddy? Okay?
I'm doing good. I'm good, brother. I'm good.
Good to have Bill Cooksey with us. And, of course, now the Bassin man has come in, the hillbilly. Here he is.
Here I am.
David Beal.
That's me, Larry. I'm
good
here.
Good to see you, David.
Oh, yeah, man. It's good to see you, too, man. You're looking good.
I'm hanging in there, David. I can't
Shelby's
look any worse.
Good.
Yeah, I can't look any worse. That's
all right.
for sure. But anyway, David will be here with us this morning at the top of the hour as we do the regular D&D segment. David and David, as we talk Mid-South fishing. So we appreciate David Beal stepping in to be with us in the last two segments. Let's move on now as we talk about the legends of the outdoors. And I think this guy probably knows what's going on better than anybody, or he tries to at least act like he does. But that's our good friend Kent Driscoll. Good morning, Kent.
Hey, Larry. How you doing? Good morning.
I'm doing good. Bill Cooksey, I know that we've shared in the moment at the Legends of the Outdoors Hall of Fame in Springfield at the Johnny and Jenny Morris Convention Center there, and what a big event. It's going on today. It's already rolled out in some parts for some of our people, and we've already had George Lynch on the show. And then Kent, being a part of the board of directors of this event, tell us about your impression of what this thing means.
Hey, Larry. I think it's just a great event. The idea behind the Hall of Fame, the Legends Hall of Fame, is to recognize all of the men and women involved in the outdoor industry. And that's, when I say outdoor industry, that covers hunting, fishing, any of the outdoor activities, camping, that kind of thing.
Yes.
And it gives these people a place where we can say thank you to them for all of their contributions and everything they've done.
Yeah.
And there is such a big, long list of people that have already been inducted into this Hall of Fame. And then we've got the new class coming this year, too.
And I know Cooksey and myself, Bill's longtime friend, longtime co-host of this show, as we celebrate our 25th anniversary later this month. I know that look forward to that, 25 years on the air, and I know that Kent's been a part of that too, particularly since his association with B&M Poles. And I know, Kent, this today is a special day, even though I'm coming off surgery last week, and thanks to my niece, Renee, driving us to Springfield. We're going to be there to welcome a new inductee, and that's our good friend Ron Wong. And I can tell you how much B&M meant to Ron Wong, and I know how much Ron Wong meant to B&M, right, Kent?
Oh, absolutely. And honestly, the entire fishing industry, Larry.
Yes.
I mean, he had such a huge impact on, not only the crappie fishing world, but the bass fishing world. He had assignments all over the country, following bass fishing too. So
yes,
Ron was, man, he did it all when it came to, fishing and tournaments and different charities and philanthropies and everything else. He was just great at it.
And I'm glad that his sister, Debbie, is going to be there today. I know that his brother by another mother, or his cousin, Peanut Kwan, and Peanut's wife Connie are going to be there. Mm-hmm. And the empty chair will be sitting there. And I know people like David Beal.
Absolutely. I was supposed to be there the other day, but man, I worked a double, and I was out of it.
Well, I know what Ron meant to you.
Yes, Ron is a good guy, man.
Yeah, he was part of this, and I'm honored to be able to introduce him. And even though they've given me 3 minutes, Kent, I may stutter for 3 minutes. I don't know.
I think you got it in you. I
don't know how much I'm going to get in me. I'm going to get it out.
Yeah.
But it'll be hard. But
Larry, I say you just go ahead and channel your inner Michael Waddell and just roll off.
His inner Michael Waddell.
Yeah. I don't think I've got that much pull, but we'll do what we can. But there's so much that goes into this. This is almost like a birth today. I mean, because this is not something you can put over in 2 days. Talk about the energy that's put into this organization.
Oh, man, it takes an army to put on an event like this. You know, you're looking at 350 to 400 people.
Yes.
That'll all be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
There will be, you know, a wide variety of different companies there. And, you know, behind the scenes, what Gary does, what Lorelei does, his assistant, and Gary's family.
Yeah, his family.
There is no doubt. I mean, Gary's got his whole family helping.
Yes.
His sons, his granddaughters, his wonderful wife.
In-laws, outlaws, he got them all working, you know.
Yeah, he does. And, you know, he has got hours upon hours upon hours organizing this event, you know, putting all the food together, putting the presentation itself together, you know, working with all the different inductees to make sure, you know, they've got their speeches and they know the time slots. And, man, I tell you, putting on an event like this it's a labor of love. You got to really love it to do it.
Yeah.
And but Gary's the guy for it. You know, this is his idea. This is, you know, his organization that he created from ground zero. And it's just gotten bigger and better every single year. And there's just a lot of really deserving people that are going to be a part of the Legends of the Outdoors Hall of Fame.
Kent, what I think makes it different and extra special,
what's that?
I mean, it's obviously awarded by peers in the industry. And because of that, there are a lot of people on the list that aren't the famous hunters and fishermen that everyone recognizes. You know, like you know, Lisa Snuggs and Tommy Aiken and these different folks that we know well working in the industry, but the general public doesn't. But
the industry does.
Because we're able to recognize a lot of different folks and not just the ones that have been, you know, television and media stars.
You're absolutely right. And, you know, every single one of these people is so deserving, you know, for what they've done for, you know, the different parts of the industry. And that's, to your point, that's what makes it special.
Well, it's good to have professionals as part of this, but it's also a family organization, and it's done not only going to recognize 9 people in Springfield today on this Saturday, but we're also going to do some patriotic. We're going to do some religion. We're going to make you feel good when you leave. Now, you may be worn out, but you're going to feel good, you know.
I guarantee you. If you don't walk out of that event inspired to, you know, to be involved with it and just, you know, be a part of it, then something's wrong. I'll just tell you that. And I'll make this statement right here.
All right.
The world we live in right now would be a better place if we had more outdoorsmen in it.
Yes.
And I stand by that.
Well, Ken, I believe you too, and I know what it is, and we all need somebody to get us started. And I remember, Kent's been on this show several times, and of course B&M's been a sponsor and a part of our team, and Ken will be up there with Jack Wells, I know, at Springfield. But I do know that anybody who lets their grandma get them started fishing has got to be okay. You know,
I might know a guy or two like that.
I think I know one right now talking to him, you know, because you've always told me how much your grandma meant to you, and I know how much my grandma meant to me. And, of course, Kent's not only just part of this team, but he is on the team as part of this and loves to fish. And, of course, he's the pro staff manager for our great friends B&M Poles. And I know, is this true? Somebody told me, and I'm going to put you on the spot, Kent Driscoll. That's what I do. That's what I've been doing for 25 years. And I said, have you caught 30 crappie that weighed more than 3 pounds?
I have. I sure have.
Wow.
Did you hear that, Cooksey? Did you hear that?
I did. Well, I figure if anybody has, Kent probably have a good shot at it.
Yeah, well, I guess, but he actually has a real job, right, Kent? I mean, you got.
I do.
He does, and he lives in Nashville, and yet he still has a 901 area code. That fools everybody, you know.
That's my camouflage.
That's his camouflage. But I know when this thing is over today, and it is a today, y'all. Did you hear that? They have it in the daytime, and I think that opens the door for people to come. You know, it's not going to be over. It's not going to be over at 11 o'clock at night, and that's been part of Gary's tradition, right, Kent? I mean,
that is correct.
Because this thing is timed out. You know, I can imagine what sleep was like last night for the Mason family. I'm sure he's still thinking of Bethel University and Bass team, but I know at the same time he's trying to say, "Man, can we get this done today? Is this going to happen?" And there's so many neat gifts that you have a chance to win. I've even got a Legends of the Outdoors hoodie that the only way I'm ever going to wear that thing is that I got to give birth to the twins, I think, you know, but I got it because I knew I wanted it, you know. But we do that, right?
On the golf course, Larry.
Huh?
Wear it on the golf course.
Well, that is true. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, I wish I could get back on the golf course. Someday I'll be able to do that and everything. But anyway, appreciate you, Kent Driscoll, buddy. Thank you. Safe travels. Look forward to seeing you Saturday for sure. And thanks for all you guys do. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of folks that have a connection to Ron Wong will be there Saturday morning. Thank you, Kent Driscoll. Okay, buddy?
You bet. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, guys.
See ya, Kent Driscoll. Check out B&M Poles out of West Point, Mississippi. Check on those things. They got some great stuff going on.
Oh, there, 30 crappie over.
Yeah, what have I got on right now?
30 crappie over.
I got my B&M Pole shirt
That's
on.
Right. That looks good on you, too.
I still need you a shirt. I should have told you that.
Yeah.
I got to do that. Look, Cooksey, let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray, then come on back, and Chuck Jones is coming up. Boy, everybody knows him, that's for sure. So we'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, B&M Poles, and Ducks Unlimited.
Hey, good Saturday morning, and welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we talk about the great Legends of the Outdoors Hall of Fame going on today in Springfield, Missouri, and we're really happy to have had Kent Driscoll on talking about what it means to him. And, of course, before Kent, we had one of the 9 inductees today in Springfield on this Saturday. It's George Lynch, and now we're going to switch. And we almost had Chuck Jones on before, but he didn't give up on us. You know, he decided he'd go sit by a train station and make it feel authentic.
I'm at duck camp.
He's at duck camp.
Track runs right by it. So
hey,
it
Chuck,
we
we appreciate you doing this, buddy. First of all, congratulations. Talk about what this means to you, Chuck.
Gosh, Larry, it's so humbling. I'm so honored. You know, some of the people have been inducted in years past. Harold Knight, David Hale, all those guys.
Yes.
I grew up with Will Primos, Bill Jordan. I'm so honored, and I'm just extremely humbled about this whole experience. It's Gary Mason and I talked the other day, and I said I'm afraid it's going to be emotional, but I'm looking forward to it, and I'm just very, very grateful for this honor.
Well, I know, Chuck.
If you're emotional about it when you get up there,
let it go.
If you aren't emotional, you'll be the only one, I imagine.
That's right. Yeah. Me and Cooksey went in 2022, Chuck, and I know that talking to George Lynch, and what a name in the outdoor industry for so many years, talking about what it means to him. And I know, Chuck, you've touched so many bases in your career, and you've already mentioned a lot of these things. A long way from what is it? Is it Hensa Parish, Louisiana? Is that where you're from? Tensas.
Yes, Tensas Parish.
Louisiana.
Right on the Mississippi River in east central Louisiana.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
It was and still is some of the best hunting in the United States. I mean, if you didn't hunt, you just couldn't live there. You didn't fit in.
Well, talk about
fishing.
Talk about how your mentors. Who were some mentors for you, Chuck Jones?
Well, my two main mentors are gone from this earth.
Yes.
And I got started turkey hunting, which is one of my main loves. Waterfowl hunting would be second, and deer hunting. But I got started turkey hunting 58 springs ago.
Ooh, okay.
And I had two of my dad's friends that took me to Mississippi.
Uh-huh.
I think that was in the 60s is when it was. I was 12 years old.
12 years old.
And,
okay.
Back then, I'll never forget this. They said, look, we'll take you turkey hunting. You can go with us anytime we go to the camp. You can get free. But if you start telling your buddies about turkey hunting, you're done.
You're done. Okay.
Look how much, and who would have thought I'd end up promoting this sport, that I love so much. But back then, you remember how old school it was.
Oh, yeah.
It was,
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody, but they were Jimmy Woods and Larry Rogers.
There you go. Yeah.
They were. Larry Rogers was the best storyteller. I just never forget sitting as a kid around the camp and listening to him describe his hunts, and it was just like, man, he'd make you feel like you were sitting there with him. And he was the single best hunter I've ever been around in my life.
Okay.
Harold Knight met him. He came up to Kentucky and killed a big deer on one of their farms up there one time. And Harold said, Bud, he said, that man is a hunter.
Yes.
And I said, I told you,
Yeah.
But anyway.
Well, that's
those guys were my mentors. I kind of ruined my dad. I got stuck so many times as a kid, and he'd have to come find somebody at the tractor to pull me out and
pull you out.
I guess I ruined him from hunting, but
well, we just mentioned
disease for a long time.
We just mentioned this, Chuck. Bill Cooksey and us were talking about this to Kent Driscoll, talking about that's the kind of people that makes the Legends of the Outdoors what it is today, right, Bill? We have just land people. We have people who help people. Isn't that right, Bill Cooksey?
Oh, you don't get there on your own. I mean, all of us had people who helped us along, whether it's, people who weren't even in the hunting industry like Chuck's talking about.
Yes.
The people like Harold Knight and all who.
Yes.
I can't begin to name all the people who have helped me.
Yeah.
Some of them are in the Hall of Fame. A lot of them you've never heard of.
Yeah.
But, any success I have, it's because of the people who have helped.
And that's what we look forward to at the Legends of the Outdoors, Chuck. And that's what you get to look forward to Saturday all day. I mean, it'll go till 3 in the afternoon or maybe longer. Friday night you had your big powwow with all the good guys there and everything. And you see people that you say, man, I'm shaking this guy's hand.
Yeah.
And that's the way it is, Chuck. And I think turkey hunting, I've always told people, I'm 82 years old, and I can't vacuum my den, but I can crawl on my belly. And my wife doesn't understand that. And if they would make a vacuum cleaner that looks like a turkey, I might buy it, But that's what it is, isn't it, Chuck?
Absolutely. 100%. I mean, that's you talk about people that help you along, and I absolutely have got to hunt with some of the best call makers and hunters in the business. I mean, I'll never forget in the late 80s, Will Primos called me and introduced, this is Will Primos. Of course, we didn't have cell phones.
No.
I was working for Mississippi Power and Light, and he told me who he was, and he had produced a cassette tape at the time, and he and Cuz had started on the Truth series.
Yes.
And Cuz had moved on to Mossy Oak, and he said, I want to invite you to a place in Mississippi tomorrow, the next day, to go turkey hunting with me.
Huh.
So I'm like, yes, sir.
Yeah.
I went, and we killed a turkey that morning, and we sitting on the back of the truck, and he said, would you like to go to work for me video for the Truth? And I'm like,
how long did that take to think?
Yes. And he said, well, I've spent a morning with you turkey hunting, and he said, I can teach you how to run a camera, but I can't teach you the skills that you have hunting.
Oh, yeah.
Get after it.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to filming a bird than turning on a camera.
Oh, yeah. But this is at the same time, this is a legendary person talking to him,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that we think are legends.
Absolutely.
And now.
Yeah. And Will said, listen, he said, learn how to tell a story through that camera lens. And God gave me a gift. I was pretty good with a camera. You ask Harold Knight, he'd always say, Jones is the best with a camera I ever been around, because he's a hunter and could read stuff. But that's a gift that God gave me.
Yes.
And
well, I look forward to meeting you Saturday, Chuck, because you've already mentioned one of my all-time favorite people in Harold Knight. Anybody that can take my mother-in-law and make her happy at the cabin up there in Cadence, Kentucky. I said, my goodness. And he still remembers her name. He remembers Miss Essie.
Yeah, they don't get much better than him.
No.
They do not.
And he pulled out that Johnson grass. He didn't need no call. You know, I mean, he's
no.
That's what makes it so. I said, how do you work for Night and Hale? You don't even need it. You got the Johnson grass here. I said, no.
Yeah, I heard him call on a peach leaf one time.
Did you?
I'm like, good gracious life.
Well, I know, Chuck, this is going to be a great day for you Saturday, and I look forward to meeting you. Me and Bill Cooksey will be there. And just congratulations, buddy, to become it's a fraternity that you just don't feel like you belong until you get up there and everybody's one big family, Chuck. And
I was there last year, and I was overwhelmed.
Yes.
With, just the support of everybody, even competitors.
That's right, competitors.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much.
Well, Chuck, thank you, buddy, and we look forward to being up there. Me and Cooksey will see you.
See you soon, Chuck.
Yeah, we'll see you soon, buddy. Safe travels, okay, man? All right?
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you so much.
All right. Chuck Jones, and we appreciate Chuck visiting with us and kind of wrapping up this part of Outdoors of Larry Ray. And, Bill, I appreciate you being part of this team, and be careful on your drive as we get up there today, and look forward to seeing you because, I can't wait. All I can. It's going to be hard to seeing Ron Wong's empty seat. I think they're going to have an empty seat there at my table.
I imagine they will.
But you mentioned something that I hadn't even thought about, that no one has ever been in. Because Bill was actually, I was at Reelfoot Lake when Gary invited him into the Legends of the Outdoor Hall of Fame. We were sitting around a campfire.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never seen Ron that emotional as he got
I'll
emotional.
bet.
So I know what that had to mean to him, particularly when we found out what happened.
Well, that had to be, because Ron had a normal career.
Yes.
He just was a heck of a fisherman and fished a ton. Luckily, he had a career that allowed him to, but that was a fun part of his life until he retired, and then he went full bore.
With a camera.
Yeah. I mean, as a fishing journalist.
Yes, he was the official.
Camera and laptop, typing up stories and taking pictures.
Yeah, he covered all the classics and everything. And he was the official photographer for the Legends of the Outdoors, named last year.
Mm-hmm.
And so gets us now. But anyway, let's take our break. You about ready, David Beal? Ready to talk fishing? David Beal.
Yep.
Ready for fishing?
Yep.
All right, he's ready for fishing. Bill, you better take your notebook out. Write down some stuff here. All right.
I'll do it.
Let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray and come right back with D&D. David and David on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, B&M Poles, and Ducks Unlimited.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. And it is the time. And we're going to have to get a song for these two guys. We got to get a song.
Mm-hmm.
Purple what was it? Purple Water? What's that song? Purple, I don't know. Cooksy, you know the song Purple
Haze? Purple Rain?
Purple Rain? No, that's a song. We used to have it as our sponsor. Anyway, here we go. We got David Beal and David Best back on the air, and I promise you that we will get back to regular with these two guys because this is the best fishing report you're going to find in the Mid-South. My man David Beal and my man David Best. Taking it over, David Beal. Introduce your man. Go.
Good morning, everybody out there fishing land and out there in listening land, all our listeners and everything.
Yes.
You know, I thank God for, first of all, Larry, I want to say this real quick. I thank God for you, man. I thank God for Larry Ray.
Oh, well,
you know, good friend of mine, good friend of everybody. Everybody knows him.
I need it.
I do have another friend here, everybody.
Yeah.
The Hillbilly Man got a friend.
Yes.
Not David Beal, but it's David Best.
Yes.
Good morning, y'all.
What's going on, David?
Oh, not too much. Just getting ready to get started for another day of sales here at the store.
Sweet, man. Now, look, I know the outdoor listeners been waiting on this, man. They've been waiting. It's been hot. You know, the weather has been just beating down on us.
Yeah.
You know, but they have been waiting for this day, this hour
to
let them know about this fishing, man. So I want to know, David, I want you to tell our listeners, man, what are we looking at out there as far as first let's do
hot.
The weather type deal. Let's do that weather first day and what we're looking like out there. What our listeners and our fishers should be looking for out there.
You know, it's been hot. We've been having these little sporadic thunderstorms, which are actually kind of good because they're going to help cool this water off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Those fish start looking for those areas where that water's running in, but you know, at the same time, it kind of helps us cool off a little bit too when we're out there fishing. So
yes,
that's the first thing. I mean, but you know, those little sporadic thunderstorms in the afternoon, they make them fish look up. They like to bite those little topwater baits at that point in time. So it's something to be thinking about while you're out there. They start looking more to that upper column, and you know, they might still be sitting down there 15 foot of water, but if that water's clear enough, they'll run up there and grab it.
Yes, I think just to say something about those sporadic thunderstorms, that's a very good topic that you just brought up there. One of the things about those thunderstorms, the sporadic ones especially, I was down on the river a few weeks back, and we kept having those. What David was talking about there, man, do not neglect the runoff, the water running off the banks.
Oh, okay.
The water running off the banks and running out of these little ditches and things like that. What do you think about that, Dave?
Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, that's one of the things I key on this time of year if we're getting that kind of weather. Because those little places where that stuff comes pouring into the lake, that's where the fish are going to position up. They might not position right on it, but they're going to position up really close to it because it's going to bring that plankton. It's going to bring some stuff out of the creeks and out into the water, and those little brim and the shad are all going to come eat on that. And when they're eating on that, them bass are going to be eating on them too. So
right, I got something to say about that too. The little runoff. I just want to add this in because this has come from experience, and I know Dave probably can get with me on this experience. Now, when that water is running off that bank and them cutoffs and those ditches, that water actually mixes colors. So don't be afraid to throw. Oh yeah, it mixes, and sometimes it be mud, and then it be a little clear. That's really what your target. It kind of act like structure a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
So I want the anglers out there and the fishermen alike to understand that don't be afraid and think that water is muddy, you know, just because it's running off. You don't want to fish there. That's literally where you want to fish at.
Yep. It provides a nice little mix. it provides those bass some cover. You know, they can get off into that dirtier water and be looking off into that clearer water, and it gives them the opportunity to ambush. Or it's just like an ambush point, just like, you know, anywhere else. So,
all right, let's talk lures, man.
Yeah, talk lures.
David Best, we got the lure man here.
Yeah, he's
selling lures and stuff. You know, I want to see what he catching them on. Let's see what he's throwing.
Well, you know, I mean, everybody knows I'm a dragger. I'm always throwing my little plastics.
A dragger? You're a dragger?
That's a new one, Larry. A dragger.
David Best is a dragger. Okay, I'm kind of scared about that now.
But you know, I like.
What does that
mean? That you can drag those baits you drag on the water on the bottom. You know,
oh, okay.
Those Texas rigs and a jig and those kind of things. It's one of my primary pieces that I throw all the time.
That explains it.
Yeah. Right, that explains it well. He explained it well. We're gonna give him a little bit more time to explain. So when you dragging, so where are you? What kind of areas and structures are you targeting for your dragging? You
Good question.
Carolina rigs and stuff.
So right now, what I'm looking for is one, those little runoffs. But if I don't have those, we're looking for those little edges, the ends of a point. You know, where that thermocline is going to hit, and you're going to have that cooler water mixing with that warmer water.
Okay.
So once you kind of catch that first fish in 5 foot of water, you catch that first fish in 8 foot of water, you catch that first fish in 9 foot of water, I'll start to concentrate in those areas and look for those little drops or those little points that form, again, those little ambush points. So anywhere where a fish can hide on one side and as a school of bait comes around, they can run up and grab it before that school of bait gets the opportunity to see them.
That's great. So here's one of the things I want to, because see, David, I think our listeners, one of those things when you say we dragging plastics, you know, a lot of people want to know what specific plastics are you dragging. I think that's kind of important, especially our listeners wanting to learn. You know, what can you help us with on that?
Yeah.
So, you know, this time of year, of course, we're throwing some big worms. Some bigger crawdad style baits because these fish
How big?
Those bigger. So, I mean, 10, 11, 12-inch worm is a standard right now. So, or a big plastic, a big crawfish type bait like a braid lobster, or some of the bigger Strike King pieces.
Okay.
But you're looking for those things. You're looking for those things that are going to fill the fish up, basically, because their metabolism is at its ultra highest right now, so they have to eat more to maintain their body weight.
Okay, good.
So the other thing, but something we need to really start thinking about and thinking on really quickly is we're fixing to start cooling off, and as we start cooling off, they're going to start trimming that down to those smaller baits, because we're going to start seeing probably within the next 3 or 4 weeks, we're going to start seeing those smaller baits.
Right.
All those smaller baits are getting together.
Okay, now we're getting.
And then they're going to start thinking about something different. So it doesn't hurt to throw it a little bit right now and start getting prepped and getting ready, because some of these smaller baits are really going to come into play soon.
Yes, that's very, very important information right there. Because one of the things I've been catching them on, Dave, Larry, I've been catching them on like a small kind of crankbait type deal. You know, you know, I've been cranking a little bit of pre-gravel and a little bit of chunk rock, not so much big rock, but, you know, kind of like the transition from, you know, pea gravel to little chunk rock and stuff like that. Right. You know, and throwing a little, and I'm also kind of mixing it too, Dave. So I think that's right on. I mean, that's point on, man. So let me ask you though. Do your top water still play right now? Are you still playing that, or how you going with that?
Yeah, I'm still catching some fish on top water, mostly early and late, of course. But then when we get these little thunderstorms like this, it'll come into play a little bit then too. All
right, we need to talk about where we going now. I know it's going to be cooling down toward the end of the week. I'm jumping in on y'all's show. I know that, but I want to know where you going now till it finally breaks next week. We're finally going to get a break, they said, but it is August, y'all. So talk about where you going. I mean, go out there and buy you a new kayak. We didn't even mention where this guy works. Come on now, he's S.Y. Wilson out there in Arlington. Come on now, we want him to sell at least a 11-inch worm. Come on now, you know, because I get tired throwing in. But talk about where we're going.
Yeah, I'm targeting moving water. So if I'm at Pickwick, I'm going to be on one end or the other, looking for that water that's moving around. If I'm at any of these little lakes, like we said, looking for runoffs. I love to fish little rivers this time of year. I mean, it's a great time to get it. They're better oxygenated. The water's cooler. The fish tend to be a little bit more active. So
right. Well, you know that's good right there where David's going. But I'm always the guy who wants to get to everybody, right?
Yeah.
So not only the kayakers, you bank fishermen, you just
there
best believe
you go. That's my
Hillbilly
man.
is the one that's going to help you out during this season.
Tell him.
So them little ponds that I always talk about, don't think that those bass won't be biting just because me and Dave want to go to Pickwick somewhere.
That's right.
So these ponds are still – catching, good bass and these apartment. Oh yeah, by the way, these apartment complex ponds, man, they've been wearing them out in them things, man.
People don't want you to tell that.
Yeah. We telling it because we want everybody that like to fish to catch them bass every way they can. Yes, especially kids because they live there.
Yeah.
They live there, and it's easy for them, and the parents can kind of watch them too. When they there, and I think that's very important. You ever fished any of those, Dave?
Oh yeah, I mean, one of the things, these little small municipal parks in Bartlett, Arlington, and Collierville, they all have fish in all those ponds because the guys like us have gone and pulled fish from other lakes and then went and dumped them in there just so that we have something to catch. We only have an hour in the afternoon.
And TWRA has put some fish in some of those lakes. I know.
Some of those.
Absolutely.
Sure Yep.
Because when they're like the fishing rodeo, they put all the fish in there and nobody hardly went because the storm came up or something like that.
That's right.
Yeah, so now everybody can go and catch them.
And the state lakes. We got 2 minutes here on this segment. You guys are rolling. Go close it out here.
All right, man, Dave. So I want everybody to know where Dave works at and the kayaks and everything that he sells. Give us a little bit of information of that, Dave, and what you're selling down there at S.Y. Wilson and all the kayaks and the lures and stuff you got down there.
All right. Well, we're here at S.Y. Wilson and Company on the square in the historic Depot Square in Arlington. Our address is 12020 Walker. We're just right down here downtown. It's about there's only a few 3-story buildings in this town, so it shouldn't be too hard to find us.
Yes, that's right.
But we have a little bit of everything from kayaks to fishing tackle to clothing to whatever you need to be outdoors.
And today being Saturday, what's going on?
So today, Saturday, we are 10 to 6 today. This is one of the few Saturdays I don't have any kind of major ordeals going on.
Okay.
We are getting ready for fall, and it is coming up quick. But we're going to have a lot of stuff going on. We're starting tailgating parties in September and a few other things that we'll be doing here at the store that are going to be pretty neat. So it's worth coming out and seeing.
And we thank you, man. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for answering, man, talking to us, okay?
All right. Appreciate you.
All right.
Take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray, and we'll be right back. We'll have D&D next month.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, B&M Poles, and Ducks Unlimited.
A good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray again as we roll toward our 25th anniversary show. That's on the last Saturday of the month of August. 25 years on the air, and I think this guy's been on a couple of times. Bill Cooksey.
He has.
I'm sure he has, and sometimes we had him on, didn't have him on, but that's okay because you just mentioned his name and the ratings go up 3 points. Okay, that's good, but. I'm really looking forward to wrapping up today's show. We're talking to the Legends of the Outdoors in Springfield today, that me and Bill will be there. I'm sure this next guy's going to try to be there. So introduce this next guest for us, Bill.
Well, this next guest, like you said, he's a friend of the show, and he's been a personal friend of mine for, I guess, about 30 years now. He is a 2006 World Duck Calling Champion. He is Legends of the Outdoor Hall of Fame member from 2023. He's Arkansas Duck Hunters Hall of Fame. And he is the VP of Development for Drake Waterfowl, and that's Mr. Jim Ronquest. Jim, thanks for being with us today.
Man, thanks for having me, guys. I most appreciate it. You gave me a good opportunity to be sitting in air conditioning on a hot summer afternoon.
Well, Jim, we've been kind of focusing on the Legend of the Outdoor Hall of Fame. I know you went in in 2023, and me and Mr. Cooksey went in 2022. Talk about what this event means to you, Jim, because I know, man, what has it been last year? Arkansas Outdoors Hall of Fame, is that right?
Well, the same year, 23, I got the Legends Outdoors Hall of Fame, which was quite the honor, and then the Arkansas Game and Fish Foundation Hall of Fame. So that was a pretty cool deal. I am the chair of the Arkansas Waterfowler Hall of Fame.
Oh, right.
So
yes.
That's all different deals, but it's a really cool experience. I'll be honest, when first heard about it, and I had been to a couple. I'd been when Butch was inducted. I couldn't make it when John Stevens was inducted. I had another event I had to be at, and I wasn't real sure, what it was. But once you become a part of those like yourself, and you realize, and you look around who these people are that you have been asked to be one of their peers, and think back through it, it's pretty dang humbling. You start looking at who's around you, and you think, wow, man, they have got me mixed up with somebody else because I'm surely not supposed to be here.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I know I was there for your induction. I haven't missed one. I don't know how many years, and other than my recent surgery, I didn't think I'd make it this year, but I'm going to be up there today to help induct my friend, the late Ron Wong. But I know, Jim, when you're honored by your peers, and I know the Legends of the Outdoors, we've talked about it with a couple of other inductees, past and present, and I know that this is like family when you go to Springfield, isn't it, Jim?
Absolutely, and that's one of the takeaways I had from it. I got to meet people that I haven't met, I knew of, or might have met them in passing, but you leave there with a whole different perspective of folks and the people that you work with around the industry and other folks that enjoy God's great outdoors. It just really brings everybody together.
Well, what about Gail Camp? I mean, she just passed away. I mean, was that not a memory maker there? I mean,
yes, sir, it was. Miss Gail, I had got to meet her before that. You mentioned the Arkansas Waterfowl Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
As the MC and chair of that event, I got to meet her when we inducted her into it that previous spring, and then to go in with her in the Arkansas during Legends Outdoors Hall of Fame. That's quite the deal. And in talking to her, man, she was such a hoot, such a love for life, and just
wasn't she
taking every day for what it is. I was talking to her. I said, "Well, Miss Gail," I said, as a duck caller in the women's world, help me on my history. Did you win it 2 or 3 times? No, son, I only won it once because I knew I was going to beat them all the time anyway. Once was fine for me.
Well, and she died recently, folks, at 100, and I can't remember what her age was, but
I think she was just right at 100. She was 3 days shy of her 100th birthday.
3 days shy of her 100th birthday. So she was.
I'm looking at Jimbo's class here, and Miss Gail, you had Bill Miller, and this is one of the strengths of the Hall of Fame that I like, since it's peers, from the industry. They're selecting people from the industry, and they aren't all famous. But you have Kevin Van Dam, and I imagine most everybody listening to this knows who Kevin Van Dam is.
Yes, Kevin Van Dam.
But then you have Kathy Fennell.
Yes.
Who, unless you're heavy into tournament bass fishing, you probably don't know who she is, even though she's really important.
Yes, she is. Yeah.
Very. So
that's right.
That's one of the cool things about it, I believe. Jim, what I want to know before we end this thing, more and more of the information is coming out from the May pond counts.
Yeah.
You have any feelings yet on duck season?
What do you think?
Yeah, what I've got's not real good right now, feeling wise.
That's enough of you, Jim. Thank you for being with us today, Jim. Okay.
Well, there are some bright spots. There are some bright spots. There were some late rains that may have helped with some recruitment. And you know what? We're still going to get an opportunity to go duck hunting this year. This upcoming duck season, we've got here in the Mississippi Flyway, we've got 60 days to chase ducks.
Yes.
And be in God's great outdoors. And some of those days will be pretty good. Some of those days may be kind of slow. But we're going to get to go. But here shortly, we'll get the whole picture.
Habitat conditions.
That's right, and some weather.
And weather.
Some weather will be important, and who knows what the winter's going to bring. I looked at a deal earlier this morning I sent around that was a favorable forecast, but man, it's hard to put much stock in it. I seen where one guy said, "We'll know what kind of fall and winter we had come next spring."
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to 3 pintails. I want to try to do that because I haven't done that since 1988 in California when they had a 3 pintail.
California, really?
Mm-hmm.
When was the last year? When was the last year a pintail was a 10-point duck? Now a lot of folks probably listening to this don't know what the point system is, and
tell us.
Wasn't it about
I don't
86?
remember.
Or no, it wasn't a 10-point in 86, but
no, it went to 20 points in 86. That I think is what it did, and then 88 we went to just the standard seasoning, and then 95 AHM.
Right.
But I guess it's showing my age, but we all remember the point system.
Well, I guarantee you, we've got to get Ronquest and Cooksey on and just let them roll, because the only 10-pointer I know is the one I'm trying to shoot. Okay, I mean,
Larry, I shouldn't tell this, but I don't use any of these currently. For a long time, most of my passwords that I used on the internet were point system references.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Interesting.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, well, I got my 8-pointer last year, and I'm going for my 10-pointer, and it's not going to be flying. If it's flying, I know I've had it.
Yeah,
it's over.
There you go.
It's over. Yeah, it's over. But again, we're talking to Jim Ronquest, and lifelong outdoorsman, a well-known entrepreneur. And, of course, a lot of us, Jim, before we let you go, talk about Drake. We got to give you that opportunity, because everybody's still got to get used to it now. World Championship in, 2006, I think it was.
That's been a minute nowadays.
I don't know.
I feel like the mess of duck calls. Yes, it was 2006.
Yes.
I was with Rich and Tone Duck Calls for years.
Yep.
An opportunity come up to work with the new ownership at Drake Waterfowl.
Yes.
Which was a pretty cool opportunity. It was a little bit outside of my wheelhouse. Yeah. part of the biggest part that I do, I was fine with. So now at Drake Waterfowl, I'm really proud to see what we've got coming. Since this is my 3rd year here, I'm not a product development guy per se, but I work with the product team. I work with the sales guys. The stuff we've got coming for this fall, I'm pretty proud of. This new BMF line of jackets and waders is going to be some pretty dang nice stuff.
Well, I expected you to say that, because that's what you should say. But I think you mean what you say, right, Jim? I mean,
absolutely. I was quick to point out when I started about a couple of different items they had. I'm not going to use the metaphors I used. However, I was quick to tell them that it really wasn't what I think we needed to be doing.
Well, I think that's what we expect. I think, is the title still Vice President of Development, right?
Yes, it is. And I've learned, I thought, man, I have really made it. I am a Vice President of something. I thought that was, and that's kind of a good deal, but I realized what happens there is you do everything. Whatever needs done, you help get it done. It doesn't matter.
Right. You can handle it. You can handle it, Jim. So what about today's duck caller, competitive duck caller? We had an event at, never in my wildlife, and Cooksey, you got to tell me this is true, never did I think I would see a duck calling competition at the Cannon Center at the Renaissance.
Wasn't that something?
Yes. I never in my wildest dreams. I don't know what Chick Major and all them other people back then would have thought.
My guess is they would have liked it.
I think they would have. It was something
good in there.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And we had the cut down too. So
yes, sir. We did the Ducks Unlimited Regional and the World Cut Down Championship, and that's kind of become a pretty popular event. That is kind of a cool deal. It's based off of a call style and call that was made famous in the lower Mississippi Loup Valley. So in that contest, you either have to blow at one of the 3 versions of an original D2O or a direct derivative thereof. So we got to check people's calls and measure stuff, and we got to make sure everybody's doing the right thing.
All right, we got about 2 minutes, Jim. I need to know how many do we have? Were you happy with the turnout?
Yes, we had 45 callers from I forget how many different states.
Oh, right.
The same young man won both events. Young man named Trevor Shanahan.
Yes.
Originally from Maryland now, and I think he's in the Houston area. But he won both events, so he had a really good payday.
Well, that's good. I just didn't get over there for all of it because I was worn out, but I knew it was going, Jim. And are we coming back next year with it again? Is that still the plan?
Absolutely, that is the plan. We're going to come back bigger and better for next year.
Okay, folks, put that on your calendar because we got this thing for the next 2 years. This is not just going to be here and gone. You know, the expo is coming at for the next 2 years, and go for it. I got to tell you, Jim, I know today's callers are different. I'm a follower of Seth Fields. He's a trip, you know.
Yes, sir.
And I love to watch him. I love to watch his little boy with him. It just become more. That was just a great event for downtown Memphis. So I appreciate.
It was a good event, and hopefully people will continue to support it because I think BU has them a winner.
I think they do, Jim, and I wanted to throw that in there, and I know Bill did too. That's just a great event for downtown on the river in Memphis for next year. Hey, Jim Ronquest, thank you, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We'll look forward to seeing you. Hope to see you in Springfield. Okay, buddy. Safe travels.
See you tomorrow evening.
All right. That's Jim Ronquest. Let's got to get out of here. Shelby's ready to go. How about it over there, Hillbilly?
I'm good over here. I'm ready to go fishing.
He's ready to go fishing. How about you, Cooksey?
I got to get out of this workplace.
You got to get to Springfield. All right. Okay, buddy. Appreciate you.
Right.
Appreciate you. For all that you do for us, Bill. And,
absolutely. Look forward to seeing you in a little bit.
This is what we always say. It doesn't cost an extra cent to be a good sport. And what else? God bless the USA.